Good morning, everyone. I've got Trish and Don with me, and I'm just going to ask them a few questions about what their life in lockdown has been like. Hello, Trish and Don. Lovely to see you both. How are you doing?
Hello, Carol. Hello, everybody.
Yes. How are we doing? Well, usually the answer is, oh, we're fine. But that's not really true. But we're still here and breathing and laughing.
Yeah. And I say muddling along as usual.
That's good to hear. Can you tell us about how lockdown has been for you and how are you managing?
As the Beatles song says, I get along with a little help from my friends, neighbours. And yeah, we're so grateful, aren't we?
We are indeed. I mean, we've got 3 neighbours who regularly go to different supermarkets for us. We've got a neighbour across the road who asks if we need anything. We even had a neighbour who used to live next door, left some years ago, turn up one day to ask if she could do anything for us.
Walking the dog.
And also, Chris has got 2 nephews, Mike and Phil, who've also been along and asking. So we're well supplied.
That's good.
I love it when I get a call.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord, yeah. I love it when I get a call and it's Phil on my mobile. This is Home Bargains. I am your personal shopper. If there's anything you require, please text me. I will be delivered to your door. So we've been locked up.
That's good news. What would you say then has been the most difficult thing or time for both of you?
You first.
Well, I've experienced lockdown when I was 16. It doesn't mean I was locked up in prison, but I was in hospital where I spent 14 months before they let me out at weekends. So being confined to one's place of residence is not really something strange to me. So I suppose that is in some way has helped to see me through this present lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I can say that at least being retired together for the past 15 years, we are used to being together for 24/7. Now, newly people retired will find that this is difficult to adjust. So it's not too much shock to the system. And being fiercely independent as I am, my difficulty is having to adjust to be reliant on other people. Whilst I'm very grateful, I'm finding that's a little bit difficult. I seem to always be making shopping lists. And my neighbours all seem to want to go out shopping at 8 o'clock in the morning. So quite often I'm having my deliveries about 9. So I've got to be up dressed, got the tongs on, because we've got to keep up appearances. So yeah, that's been a little bit, yeah, a bit difficult. When I'm used to shopping in my dressing gown.
And what about Paul? It must be hard not being able to see Paul.
Terribly.
Yes. He was wanting to come up
For Father's Day last week.
But after discussions, he's agreed to leave it for another time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's also hoping to watch Liverpool with me.
That would be nice, but never mind. Hopefully it won't be too long before you can see him. What do you think then that God might be trying to say to you two, or what do you think God has been saying to you during this time?
Not so much just us two, but I think my opinion is what he's saying to the world. He's saying that I understand the story you're going through, what this is causing to family life. And he can say that because of Jesus. People who had got the virus syndrome and have died is because it's affected their breathing. They've been on ventilators. Some have survived, but so many haven't. And the same thing can be said of Jesus when he hung on the cross, because what ultimately killed him was asphyxiation. The weight of his body hanging there was stuff affected his breathing to a point where, like everyone else's, it stopped. So yes, he knows our condition because he's been through it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been reading the wonderful book that was passed to me, Where is God in the Coronavirus World? And I found that quite inspirational. Again, man has not been listening. God revealed to one doctor in Wuhan, even on the 8th of December, about this possibility of a coronavirus. And he was reprimanded for it. And that doctor lost his own life to coronavirus within 2 months, actually. And I'd been reading this one morning in my quiet time when my neighbour arrived back with my shopping. And it was lovely to be able to share with her this, because she was very suddenly ill earlier in the year. And it would appear that she could possibly have had, the corona herself. And I was sharing this, that it could have been avoided. I said, God gets the blame for all these things. I said, but he puts this into man's mind. And I went back to the Aberfan disaster. I said that, that slack heap had been there for years, the coal slack. They had committees where they discussed it, that it was dangerous and, the possibility of a landslide. And they poo-pooed it, and we know the disaster there. So I said, so God, she is a devout Catholic, but it's lovely to be able to talk to her, about spiritual things.
Yeah, that's lovely. So in the encouragement that God's been talking to you, he's allowed you to share with your neighbours in a way that maybe you haven't been able to do before?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, the mantra, divine intervention, is brought into conversations.
That's good. That's good to hear. Is there anything else special, a verse or a sermon or anything you've been encouraged by that you want to share with us? Because time is, as always, is passing us by quite quickly here.
Right, we'll be quick then. Sermons. Well, I always think of when Pastor David preached, and he was talking about Dad's army and Private Fraser, who came out with don't panic, don't panic. And he said it in such a way that he was obviously panicking. And you could look upon that, I suppose, in some respects, people's feelings today about panicking, about going out. But God will always say to you in a different voice, don't panic, leave it with me.
Yeah.
And I will see you through.
Yes, I think that is a dig at me, because I'm the panicker, and we've been watching Pride and Prejudice, haven't we? The thing, and I'm a Mrs. Bennet, definitely. Not quite as bad as Mrs. Bennet. He's the Mr. Bennet, he's the calm one. But ironically, Don saying about the don't panic was on the same message that Pastor Dave brought to us when he shared with us he'd been kneeling in his office to try and focus on prayer, and his mind was distracted. And that was marvelous to me, because I've been beating myself up quite often in my quiet time in the morning. I'd be having shopping lists in my head, or are they going to come back? And I was totally distracted. So I thank him for that. And I thank Diane for her closing words on that same morning. So we were both independently blessed there. Yeah, thanks very much. And I can just say to Pastor Dave, 26 times, his love endures forever, because I was admonished across his desk. It was a bit scary, like being before the headmaster. He says, there are these, and if you skip them, well, I got down to the first 9, his love endures forever, at the bottom of the page of my Bible, went on to next, and went, oops, there's an awful lot. So I just read the verses. But was I admonished for it? Yes. But I think I'm Thank you.
Right, lovely. Okay, one last quick question then. What are you most looking forward to when you are allowed out, when lockdown's over? What are you looking forward to the most?
Going to the barbers, but most of all, going to the garden centre, because the garden's in a bit of a dull state at the moment
Right.
and needs brightening up.
My immediate plans, knowing that Paul can come and stay, do my own shopping, professional haircut, because I've got to go before Alan, as we all have, on the 27th of February, since I last had my hair cut by him professionally, and I've been snipping at it since. And hopefully not too long, coming back to Orrell Park, we'll meet again and in the flesh, and we will hug, hug, hug.
Okay, that's lovely. Well, I must admit, I am looking forward to a Trish hug too, and a Don hug, but a Trish hug is always very special to me. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope everyone's enjoyed listening to you this morning. So thank you very much. God bless you both.
Thank you very much.